I'm Kathryn Chval, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and we wanted to welcome you to Phase 2 and celebrate your accomplishment tonight. We had 454 applications for your particular class for Phase 2 this past year. We accepted 350. You all know it's a competitive program. The numbers really don't reflect how competitive it really is, because we had hundreds that actually didn't make it to the application phase. So we have lots of students that don't, for a variety of reasons, get the GPA they need to meet the qualifications for Phase 2. So, you know, when you actually do make it to this point, it's quite an accomplishment. In the past, we've sent you a letter saying, congratulations, you made it to Phase 2. And so our students said, you know, it would be kind of nice if we actually acknowledged this in some way. So we decided that we would design this event so we kind of orient you to Phase 2, but also acknowledge the hard work that you've done. You know, you've worked really hard to get here, and you're going to be really tired the next 2 years as well. So don't think you can rest at this point. One of the things we'd like you to think about is what your professional goals are. So what do you want to do after graduation? We don't want you to wait until 2014. We want you to think about it over the next 2 years, what you have to be doing to build a resume, depending on what you want to do. You might want to go to graduate school. There are lots of options, and there's other places there are options for that. You might want a teaching job or another job in education. There's other jobs beyond K-12 teaching. You might want to go sit on a beach. Depends what your goals are. Any of those options. I had two in college. My kids sit on the beach. I wouldn't like that too much. So if you have to build kind of your plan for what you want to do. So thinking about that and then doing things in place over the next 2 years to make sure that you're as marketable as possible. So one of the things that Dr. Wilcox's office does is she will send you lots of surveys over the next 2 years. And that's how we make the program better. Now this is from our exit survey of our graduates in May of 2012. We had some that didn't listen to the emails and didn't fill out the survey. So what did they have to do? They were at the graduation ceremony in their caps and gowns, and we just had them go right into the survey room and fill out the exit survey. So when you get those emails, we really want you to, we will find you, we will hunt you down. But that's how we make the program better. We really want your feedback. So where did our 2012 graduates go? So the ones that did complete this particular survey, 48% indicated that they were going into teaching jobs. And 62% had already received or accepted a job offer at that time. That's at graduation, or some filled it out actually in April. 45% were going on to graduate school, so that was another option, and 7% had other plans. So we kind of get a sense of our graduates are doing lots of different things. I think in 2012 we had more graduates than I've ever seen since I'm starting my 10th year here at MU. Going and teaching overseas after they graduated. So that is growing and growing. So if that's an interest of you, you definitely want to have some conversations with folks that are here tonight. Where are our first and second year teachers teaching in Missouri in 2012? So here we have 621 teachers that are identified by the districts that have degrees from MU. The larger the circle, the more teachers that are there. So in the Columbia area, if I'm reading that right, testing my eyes here, I think it says 113, 200 and some 11 over in one district there in St. Louis. So we have teachers in 61 counties and 148 school districts throughout the state. So if there's a specific part of the state you're looking for, we probably have alumni there and can help you get information to make yourself prepared for those districts. So what are districts looking for? They're not looking for just the cookie cutter, so they're not just looking for kind of these stamps. They really are looking for teachers that are extraordinary. So I'm not sure if you can tell here, but here you have two surfers on their surfboard, and there are about 20 dolphins coming at them. It's not something you see every day, it's something that's extraordinary. So we want each of you to be successful. We want you to leave here with as many options as possible. So we want you to keep your options open, think about what are possibilities, and then build your experiences, build your resume in the next couple of years so that you have those options. So I asked Dr. Mary Laffey, was the Director of Human Resources for the Columbia Public Schools for a very long time. She interviewed and looked at resumes of thousands and thousands of teacher education applicants. So I asked her a couple questions for tonight. One was, what advice would you have? What are you looking for when you hire teachers? And so these are things that you need to start putting on your resume now. You don't wait 2 years from now. So she said they have to demonstrate that they have experience with kids, and more importantly, that you actually like them. You like being with kids. So, what are some examples she gave? Preschools, camps, tutoring, coaching. So do you have anything on your resume at this point that points to that you're working with kids? A second related thing is volunteer work. They want to see people as servants, people that are giving service. Now this could be, you could do both bullets here at the same time. So you could do Big Brothers, Big Sisters, where you're working with kids and you're volunteering. But you might do the food bank. So, there are lots of volunteer experiences that you can do in Columbia. And some of you I know have jobs and it's hard to balance everything. But think about, can you do it in summers? Can you do it over breaks? How can you show that you're doing some things in volunteering? Demonstrating academic excellence. They're not necessarily looking for the 4.0. And they'll tell you that sometimes, if you see someone that really struggles in an area, they're going to be good teachers with kids that struggle. So they're not necessarily looking for perfect records, but they are looking for consistent quality in terms of academic excellence. And at this point, you all meet that criteria, so you just need to keep it up over the next 2 years. And demonstrate a belief that all students can and will learn. So that's going to be really important in a job interview. So how are you going to be able to kind of demonstrate that you believe that, and especially when you're in field experiences, that's going to be really critical. You're going to be interacting with a lot of teachers, and a lot of people that might potentially write a letter of recommendation for you, or that you might meet in an interview. So you want to make sure that you're demonstrating that belief. She also talked about qualities that they expect from people that they hire. She said, teachers that take responsibility for the success of the students. She said one of the frustrating things is when she encounters teachers that blame others. So for example, blame children for the lack of success. That kid's just lazy. Or blame parents. Those parents are never home. They don't come to the parent curriculum nights. They don't work with their kids. Teachers that blame curriculum. Oh, the curriculum's bad, so my kids aren't learning. So they want teachers that are going to take responsibility no matter what the situation is, no matter how hard it is, and say, my kids can learn no matter what I have, or no matter what those kids are experiencing. She wants you to believe in your abilities to help students overcome challenges. You're going to work with some kids, even in field experiences when you become a teacher, that have really challenging life experiences. It actually makes you cry when you hear about what they're going through. You just wonder how they're getting to school, let alone learning. But you got to believe that no matter what, you're going to help them overcome those challenges. You're not going to make excuses, that they're going to continue to learn. You can't control what's happening in your home environment. You can't control what's happening in your classroom. We're looking for that when you interview. Demonstrating energy and enthusiasm as you connect with students. One of the biggest complaints we get about juniors is the ones that just sit in the back of the room when they're in field. They don't look like they're initiating things. They don't look like they're engaging. They look exhausted. They don't look like they have energy. They don't look like they really want to be a teacher. That looks really bad. So you want to make sure that you're demonstrating high energy, high enthusiasm when you're in the schools. Make sure that you're, especially when you're interviewing, you want to do that too. Demonstrate a sense of awareness or with itness, she referred to this. Demonstrate emotional objectivity. So do not personalize. So if you're not connecting with a kid, you're not getting angry about it, you're not making excuses, you have this kind of emotional objectivity. And I think that's challenging to learn and communicate to others that you have that. So these are really important qualities that you need to think about, especially demonstrating these qualities when you're in field. Think about right now when you go into field, the next couple weeks you'll be in there, do you look like someone that someone would want to hire? It's not too late to start thinking about that. Or too early, I should say. This is what you need to do the rest of the time. Come up and introduce yourself to me. There's a to-do list on your tables, so you can kind of turn that over. It's a white sheet. You got a list of possibilities. You might not get up till 8, so you might not be able to accomplish all of them tonight. If not, then you can set up appointments with those. We'd like you to have conversations with faculty in phase 2. So for example, and I'm going to have faculty stand and introduce themselves in a minute. You might talk to them about, what are you really looking for? What should we be doing in our coursework? So they'll be willing to talk to you about the courses you'll be taking or what they kind of expect you in their classes. Great. So part of the time you will interact with faculty. You're going to be going at your own pace and doing your own, going wherever everybody went down the list in that order, we'd have problems. So randomly go to different places. You'll be leaving tables and coming, you don't have to apologize. You want to visit the student support service professionals, so the ones that were introduced earlier, and their names are on there. You just go through the checklist, go have conversations with different folks. And then complete the session evaluations. You kind of go at your own pace, leave when you're done. Any questions for me? Awesome. All right, go to work. Thanks.